Well, welcome in the kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, I am Lynn and you are in the kitchen. And it's supper time, so let's get started with something for supper. And while I'm getting a few things together here, if y'all could hit that subscribe button for me, it's greatly appreciated. And those that you already have, I so appreciate it. And if you could give me a thumbs up on my video, it just says you like me. And it helps me to get out there to be seen a little bit more. All right, we're going to have some meatballs and gravy and noodles for supper. So for our gravy, I've got me some butter in there. Y'all know I use this all the time. I'm going to put in some red peppers, red and yellow peppers, some celery, a little bit of celery, about like that, and a whole lot of onions. I'm going to add in a lot of onions. Quite a few onions. Y'all know I don't measure. Depends on how much you're cooking, how many you're cooking for. I don't measure, okay? Y'all know that. All right, let me pop these back in the freezer. I'll be right back. Okie doke. Now then, we're going to saute this up right here. Get all this water out of this, because when it starts to brown and these onions start to caramelize, that's when they get their flavor. I'm going to put just a little bit of pepper in here, just a sprinkling, and just a little sprinkling of salt. Oh, spoons in the salt. A little bit of salt. Because we're going to add some of this beef bouillon. Now, this is the best. It has the best flavor. You can kind of see some of the spices in it. I don't know if y'all can or not, but you can if you get it and buy it. You can see some of the spices that are in that. And it has really got a good flavor. All right. And then for our meatballs. No, I'm not making meatballs with y'all tonight. I might sometime, but not tonight. We're going to use these we got at Sam's right here. And this says they're Italian style, which is fine. Doesn't really matter. I like to keep these on hand for quick, easy spaghetti and meatballs. Open that up, throw your jar sauce on it. These are already cooked through. Let that heat up and cook all the way through. You've got supper in 15 minutes. Spaghetti and meatballs. They'll think you've slaved for days making meatballs, won't they? So sometimes I do cheat and take the easy way out. And tonight is one of those nights. So, when this gets browned up good, I'll bring y'all right back. Over here in our pot, we've got some water for our noodles. And I'm just using egg noodles. You can use macaroni noodles. You can use spaghetti noodles. You can use any kind of pasta noodle you want. But this is what we're having tonight, because that's what I've got. My water is boiling, so in there they go. Right like that. That over there in the trash. It's something to stir these babies up with. And when these get done, I'm going to dump them right here in this casserole dish. Okay? And this is cooking up. When all that water cooks out of that, we'll be ready to add our meatballs. You know what? I don't think I'm going to cook that water out. Because this needs water. I might as well just use this with my water, right? That's what I say. Let's do that. Y'all, that's a big spoonful right there. Mmm. Ooh, does that smell good or what? Turn that down just a little bit. Let me get us some water. Here we go. We'll add in there that's about 3 cups of water. And I'm going to add some meatballs. There's 3. There's about 20. 24 meatballs. That's just about how many I think we'll eat. No rhyme or reason, just about how many I think we're going to eat. All right. Now then, I want y'all to see this. I'm going to put some butter on the top of this pot. See how high up that is? Take this butter just like this on the end of this knife. Run it right around that edge, right like that. Isn't that cool? I love to do that. Now it's all calmed down. Now I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I'm going to turn this back up just a little bit. Now I'm going to taste that. See what else it might need. Tastes very delicious. It might just need to be thickened a little bit to make our gravy. All right, I'll be back here in just a few minutes. Okay, y'all, here's our noodles, and I believe they're about done. Turn those off. And I've got this, because y'all know these pans get heavy when you get them full. They're heavy empty, but you feel them and they get real heavy. So I've got this, just a big slotted scoop that you can just scoop that up just like that. And it drains all that water, and it's a whole lot bigger than a spoon, y'all. I don't know where I got it, probably at Home Goods or TJ Maxx, because that seems to be where I shop the most. Y'all see, I'm just taking these noodles and scooping them and putting them right over here in this dish. And our meatballs are just about done. I'm going to get us a can of green beans over here and get them opened up. Or maybe I'll just cut us up a pepper and a cucumber. I think that's what I'll do instead. I think that sounds better because they're fresh. All right, and y'all, I got every one of these noodles out with that right there. I say that, and then I keep scooping up one more little noodle. Now, I do believe I haven't. Well, nope, there's one more. I don't know where they keep coming from. But that's all. Oh, bless you. That's all the noodles. All righty. Now then, these meatballs are floating up here to the top. I'm really just wanting this right here to stay good and warm. Got us some biscuits in the oven. They're the frozen ones. Got our fingers crossed that they're going to bake okay. I think they will. I'm baking them at 500 degrees. I put them in a metal pan. I put butter in it and let that butter melt in that pan so they won't stick. And then put those frozen biscuits on there. And so when these come out, we'll get it all put together. I'll be right back before we make our gravy. Okay, while our meatballs are finishing cooking, because I just wanted to be good and hot all the way through. They're already done, like I said. This is quick, easy peasy. I'm going to show you all how to make thickening for your gravy. You cannot put flour in this. It will clump up. It will be lumpy. You cannot do it, okay? Don't even try. So, I have me a mason jar. I have me a lid. This right here is what I use. It's just a mixing ball. There's a link to these down below. I think you get 6 of them together. They're not but just a few dollars. You get 6 of them. I use them to mix up ranch dressing. I use them to mix up this. I use anything like that you've got a powder and a liquid. These things are phenomenal. So just grab you some of these, stick them in your shopping cart, and you're good to go. Drop that in there just like that. Now then, I'm going to take some flour. And this is about 1/4 cup. And that should be plenty, okay? Now then, the trick is cold water. It does not have to be ice cold, but it does need to be tap cold. Okay? Tap cold water. Put the lid on it and shake it. And you'll see it just looks like milk now, doesn't it? It's not. It's flour. That's what it looks like. And then you can pour that into your hot liquid and it's not going to clump. I'm going to show y'all how we do that in just a few minutes. All right. I'm going to be using some of this pasta water. I'm going to put over in here. I'm also going to add a little dash of Worcestershire sauce. Let's go ahead and add that. Want to? Just a little dash. Just because, you know, we love it. I don't know. It's Worcestershire. I don't know how you pronounce it. I always called it Worcestershire sauce. I don't know if that's right or wrong. But I know people have a hard time saying it, and I just always called it Worcestershire. Worcestershire. I guess it depends on if you're going to pronounce every letter, or some of them are going to be silent. I don't know. All right, let's check on our biscuits, because we want to make our gravy the last thing. We want to keep this hot, okay? We'll check on our corn. There we go. There's our corn. That's corn I put in the freezer back last summer. We've still got a little bit. And it is so good and yummy. And I don't think I froze corn with you all last year. I will be for sure to do it this year, because I do it the absolute easiest way that you can do it. By far. My mama used to parboil it. She would blanch it. 3 minutes. Ice water bath it. Let it dry on towels. I mean, we had towels stacked with corn between them on our kitchen table. And she would turn fans on it and let it cool. And leave it overnight with fans on it, so it would be dry as a bone. Then the next morning you got up and you started cutting that corn off, and then you put it in the freezer. I don't do mine that way. Mine never sees water. And I bake it. It's so easy to do. And then I take my cobs and I put them in a big pot and I boil them I boil them about 2 or 3 hours. Just let them simmer. And then you take the cobs out and throw them away, finally. And then you're left with the richest, most flavorful corn broth you have ever seen. And you can can that in your pressure canner, and it is so good to add to soups or stews or anything. I made chicken corn chowder last year, and I used that instead of water. Just enhanced the corn flavor. It was so delicious. So, when our biscuits get ready, I'll be back. Okay, our biscuits are just about ready. I'll take my handy dandy scoop again. I'm going to take these meatballs out and leave all of the juice because we're going to make a gravy. And I'm probably going to use a little bit of this pasta water because, you know, why throw it out? And just replace it with other water. Get these spread out there good. I think there's one or two more. There's two more right there. All right, there we go. All right. Now then, let me grab a scoop out of here. Well, that's not what I'm looking for. Here's the one I'm looking for. I'll put a couple of scoops of this because I want to have lots of gravy. All right, there's about 4 scoops of that. And I'm going to come back in there with another big heaping tablespoon of that. Maybe it wasn't quite heaping enough. All right, I'm going to let all this